Welcome, one up, come all. I appreciate everybody tapping in. This is Off the Edge, the podcast. With me, your host, Cam Jordan. I'm super excited to talk to a man who's famous in his own right, a man who started up the Manning Hour, the myth behind the legends, if that makes sense. We're talking about a man who's co-hosted We Need a Fourth podcast from Smartless Media. Not the youngest, but the eldest Manning brother. Not the uncle or the grandfather of Arch, but the father of. Let's bring in my guy, Cooper Manning. Go.
Good to see you, Cam. I can't thank you enough for having me on. You've been such a great guest of the Manning Hour over the last 11 years that, you say what time and what to wear, and I'm there, and you requested this hat, so I decided I'd wear it for you.
Absolutely. I heard you down there in good old Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, just it's like Peter Pan down here. Everybody dresses. Every day is Halloween. You can dress as anybody you want. Actually, I just got a bad haircut, so I wore a hat today. You can relate to bad haircuts. You've had a couple in your day.
I may be rocking one right now. I was like, I gotta get retwisted. What started off in silver is just like slowly fading to blue blonde, and I'm confused.
Confused is not a bad way to be. Immature and confused. Those are my two favorite ways to be. It keeps them all guessing.
I said, how does that affect the kids? Because my wife tells me, she's like, could you act your age? And I'm like, I can't act any older or younger than I am currently.
It just means they're not going to expect a lot out of you, which is fine. Just kind of keep disappointing them, and therefore you don't really let them down. You start off at a very low base, and you just kind of hover at that level. It's fine.
Are you the fun dad? Or are you the disciplinarian?
No, I would say I'm a fun dad. I think they're still perfectly scared of me in the right spots, but I think that they're glad to introduce me to their friends, and if they're going to have a little shindig or something, they don't mind me being there for the appropriate amount of time. But I can turn into big bad dad if need be.
Okay, yeah, the defining lines. Look, I'm the embarrassing dad. I walked in and my kids this morning had was it Grand Friends Day, and I was like, I don't know what a grand friend is. I was like, but here I am over at Country Day, and I was like, hey, I got the silver here to prove it. I was like, thank you. They're like, Dad, stop playing around. I'm like, no, it's not your dad. I'm your grand friend.
Yeah, I loved dropping my children off at on carpool, in second grade, and be like, you forgot your extra underwear, and they kind of head down and keep going or something like that. You got to just keep them embarrassed.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Everybody needs to pack an extra pair of tidy whities from time to time.
Yeah, I'm waiting until they get older. I'm waiting until like middle school, high school to have like the boom box with the dance battle. I can't wait to get the funkadelic freaking vibes to the 80s rap battles. I can't wait.
I'm sure the top brass at Country Day is looking forward to that as well.
Oh my gosh, they're like, I'm so glad he's retired by then. I'm gonna tear this place down. All right, but I guess I should get to the questions. I know, or we've got you here. How did the Manning Hour even start? I've never actually asked the origin.
It's funny. We had we've always had the Manning Passing Academy down in Thibodaux. Every year we have all these great kids from all across the country come down and attend a football camp, really just quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs. And then I was always kind of the entertainer. I'd go to the microphone and go around and mess with people, and I'd have a little camera crew follow me. We'd cut it up, and if it rained or something went wrong, we'd have some footage to go show them. We were kind of not be able to practice. And my buddy, God bless, Chris Mortensen, used to watch this. Old Mort from the ESPN. He goes, Cook, there's certainly something to do here. You should probably go reach out to ESPN. I can connect you, maybe a guy at Fox, and see if there's something you could do where you could interview a player and just have a little fun. And I was like, yeah, let's go for it. So I flew up to Bristol and kind of walked the idea through ESPN, and then met with some Fox folks, and it just seemed like, I don't know, Fox kind of liked it a little bit more, and they didn't really think I could get access to the players. They didn't think it would really work, and I was at least remotely smart enough, barely smart enough to go, I better start off with a powerful, 1, 2, 3 punch. Therefore, other players that would go, well, if Drew Brees does it, well, if Cam Newton does it, well, if Von Miller does it, well, if Odell does it, then I can probably do it. And those are my first 4 And shoot, 11 years later, we're humming along and doing things ridiculous and silly, and don't take ourselves too seriously. And it doesn't even have to be a great player, just a guy that's fun, likes to do something, has a talent. If he can juggle or sing or dance or fishes or goes bowling or likes to get a couples massage, or just have a strong personality like yourself, you're well deserving to be a possible interviewee on the Manning Hour. So it's the quickest or slowest or most uninteresting 2 minutes in sports. The Cooper Manning Hour minus 58 minutes.
Minus 50. I mean, it's a great time to be though. There's a lot of good punchlines. I feel like I've taken the spot where I've been on the show the most in my mind. I think I got awarded.
You've been on the show 5 times. 5 times is a lot. It means 3 or 4 things. It means 1, you've been playing football a long time,
yeah.
B, at a high level, and then just you have a lot of free time. So it's good.
Yeah. I'll say for every haircut, there has to be a reappearance on the show.
Well, we're overdue. I'll come see you as we approach Christmas, but I need a bailout. I was like, I don't feel like traveling this week. Let's just go down the road in New Orleans and do something with Cam. He'll be available. We'll dress you up. With that hair, you can dress up as Santa and not even need a wig. You'd be fine.
Hey, I was saying, talk about that. Von Miller. He's always doing interesting things. My man a couple years ago had like a triangle patch on the back of his head. Now he's got, he had like a little shag cut of some years back. Nobody talks about it, but he discreetly does his own thing.
Vaughn is just a country dude. He's raising chickens now.
He's a green pasture farm.
He's a chicken farmer. So we had him on. He has a tattoo of a chicken right below his knee, and he's just, what an athlete. What a delight to be with. And there's stories of Vaughn when Peyton was with the Broncos, of Vaughn after practice just lining up at corner and covering guys at 6'3" and change, 250. Just, he's that gifted of an athlete. I think one of the all-time greats, and fun to be around.
I could believe that one. He does come from all-time great draft class. Some would say the best draft class ever, 2011.
Yeah. Quick. Yeah. That was, who else was in that class? That was the only 2 I remember.
You named him. Cam Newton was number 1, Vaughn was number 2. I think Marcel Darius was 3, Patrick Peterson, Julio Jones, Alden Smith, fastest to 45 sacks. I think Danielle Hunter ended up beating that. But just some megastars, JJ Watt, Cam Hayward,
love Cam Hayward.
Yeah,
I remember Cam Hayward. I remember when I was growing up. His father was with the Saints. My dad would go down. My dad was doing the color on the radio, so Peyton and I would go get a cab at 11:30 from our house, which you'd never miss kickoff at noon. That's how easy it is to get to the Superdome. Watch the game and go down and meet my dad down in the locker room after he would do the game and then do a couple post-game interviews, and we would see Ironhead coming out, and we saw this child that I thought was 14 and it was really 3, and that was Cam Hayward, the biggest. I think he still has the record for maybe of the heaviest child ever to be born in a New Orleans hospital. It was like north of 17 pounds. He was a full man coming out. So what a stud he is.
No doubt. I love that guy simply because he has my name. I'm the 3rd Cam of our draft, by the way. Cam Newton. I was the second one taken, but third of the draft. Yeah, we had some dogs, a lot of Pro Bowlers, a lot of all pros, anyways. Nothing about our draft class. We're not here to talk about how great my draft class was. It's just being the best. We're here to talk about your show, which of course you had Von Miller on, and then you said your starting 4 was what? Drew Brees. The first ever episode was Drew. Breezy.
Drew was the first. I said, Drew, I have this idea. I'm trying to pitch to Fox, and they don't think it's going to work. It may not work. Just do me a favor and just come over and sit on my steps today. And we're just going to talk, and I'll be it'll be awkward, and you just roll with it. And he's like, okay. And it was that easy, and he believed it. I wore a tuxedo, and he said he played some instrument, and he brought it this like wooden horn that was horrible, and it was awkward, and it was perfect, and it was the genesis of a very mediocre media career.
Mediocre media. Impossible. 11 years. There's nothing mediocre about that. Plus, it's funny. So did you make your own skits?
I wrote, and I had a buddy who was good. We had a good. I was pretty I was pretty involved in the first couple of years, and then I said, guys, I got stuff going on, and plus I don't know who all makes sense to be on it. They'd say, "Cool, there's a great defensive lineman from the Browns who's who's hysterical and he does aerobics." I said, let's get him, and then we'll figure it out and just make. And they really, we kind of have a loose script, but it really works better when it's just kind of organic and natural, and we have a little theme and set them up for the couple of winners. But it's better when it's just interactive and things go wrong, and that's kind of the fun. And I guess this day and age, it's evolved where people were a little hesitant to be on camera. Now players want to show a side of them that the general public doesn't get to see without the helmet, and just be a regular guy. Or so, if you're a musician, we've had magicians, musicians, we've had physicians, we've had them all.
I'll say, wasn't there a center that ended up being a magician? There was a safety that ended up being a physician.
I remember we had maybe an old teammate of yours who was there briefly. We had a magician came in. No, a special teams guy. The deep snapper. Oh, yeah. Amazing!
That's what he is. Yeah,
we're talking, and then he was doing some card tricks, and then all of a sudden he told me to take my shoe off, and the card I had selected was inside my shoe. How that happened?
You didn't feel it until he took it out. That was John Dorenbos. He came in there. Yeah, he came in for a couple weeks for us, and then they found a heart problem or something like that in him. And then I just saw him this past training camp. I was like, he's like, bro, we were teammates for like 72 hours. I was like, my God.
You've had a lot of teammates for 72 hours. They're probably in the NFL.
Man, I've had we had a kicker, and then players come and go, especially if practice squad guy, you'd be like, oh man, I really like this guy. He's got potential. He'll be on another team.
We were talking about that today. I had breakfast with one of Arch's teammates' dads, who's kind of looking at the NFL, and I was talking about it. I said it's a total different animal than college. Your big night out on the town is Sunday night. All your friends are going to work the next morning. There's no cheerleaders and band and party after the game and the fraternity houses and all the hoopla. It's a business. It's a total different game. So enjoy college while you can.
Right. I said college is a great time. I stayed my fourth year. I looked at the door after my junior year. I was like, I could leave, but I want to be a first rounder. And also, coaches, I love y'all. I don't look for me too many classes. I'm here to play football now. 3 for y'all, 1 for me. And
perfect. That's good. Yeah, you know better than anybody. And in the same way in the locker room, you have a guy drafted in the 6th round, a great guy. This is gonna be my pal, and he doesn't make it. Cut, traded. Hurt, over. It's a revolving door. It's tough.
Quick. And especially on a season where you're not winning, then you see guys come and go. Once you realize, you're like, everybody gets to, well, this could be the winning piece, and this guy could help us here, and he can't help us here. Well, this guy could help us here. And then you look up and you're like, dang, we've had a lot of practice squad players this year. Not the telltale.
And also, you don't have those, a handful of games that are like, okay, we're gonna win these, and then we can concentrate on the other ones. Everybody's good.
Everyone, yeah. We don't get to pay, Tennessee, Albacore, A&M State, JUCO,
Tech.
Yeah, to come on over and pay them $1 million to get this butt whooping. No, see you on Sunday, and every one of you is talented. It's any given Sunday for a reason, because it's 32 teams and they're fully loaded. There's no diaspora of talent there. Everybody gets draft picks. Everybody has first rounders. Game changers.
Well, that's a tribute to you, Cam. For you to be able to hang in there that long and keep playing such a high level and being a great teammate and a great ambassador for the NFL and doing some fun things on the side. That's a tribute to what kind of dedication you do in the offseason. You make it look easier than it is. I know that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been able to tell my friends and my coach. I said, look, my friends come and go. I'll be here. I made past head coaches, defensive coordinators, players, guys that wanted me in and guys that wanted me out. Guess what, big fella? I'm here.
That's funny.
This is home for me. Anyways, in your tenure of your amazing media career Has anybody big dogs you? Told you no. You asked like Eli, why don't you be my first episode? And he was like, look, bro, get out of here.
Eli was on it. Peyton was great one time. I caught Peyton in New York. We were both in tuxedos in a bed together, just kind of relaxing. I never had any luck getting a Patriot. Coach Belichick, I don't think liked a lot of tomfoolery in the middle of the season, so did never had much luck with him. But then after Gronk retired, got Gronk on
the first time.
Yeah, or just when he was, maybe in between, in the gap. But most I kind of didn't want to have anybody on it that didn't really want to be on it. That was, I wanted someone who was kind of knew what he was getting into and was excited about it. And it's the problem now is at Fox. If I all of a sudden get someone kind of a high profile person, all of a sudden they go, whoa, we need, Aaron Andrews talking to him, not your, dumbass. So sometimes I get, I'll get,
you get
internally demoted.
Internal.
I'll get big dog about my own big dog. So that's part of the game. You learn the hierarchy.
No doubt. So outside of me, I'm gonna take myself out of it so we don't put us in this awkward position. Who was your favorite guest on the show? Me.
And not to be a morbid guest, but one of my favorite guests and one of my favorite skits was the late great Nick Mangold. Nick is one of the greatest guys in the whole world. Just passed away, unfortunately, a Ohio State guy and a great Jet center. But I called Nick in that first year and I said, Nick, I'd love you to be on the Manning Hour. It's Halloween time, and he goes, "Can I wear my man in a yellow hat outfit?" I went, "Of course." I didn't know you had one tailored. He's a huge man, so he obviously had it made for his kids the summer before. And I dressed as a monkey, as Curious George. So we were Curious George and the man in the yellow hat, and we went trick-or-treating around this pumpkin patch with all these little kids, and we became great friends ever since. And I miss him. He was a treasure. I'm sure you went up against him a little bit. One of the greats.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. I go out my way not to remember offensive linemen, but I think that's one of those biased things. Like I don't want to be their friends, because if I like you, am I actually going to want to punch you in the mouth every play? I don't want to like you. I can like you as a quarterback, because then we can talk about it later. If I have to hit you every play though,
he's a guy you would have liked to have hung at the Pro Bowl. Just sit by the pool and feed him a couple and let him tell stories. He was one of the great laughs and just a great human being.
No doubt. That's how I feel about Trent Richardson. I'm like, at Pro Bowl, we hang out, got to know him. I said, that's a great dude. Hate that for me. I'm a rush on the left side. I don't want to go over there because I like him now. Gosh darn it. But man, shout out. Rest in peace to Nick Mangold. What a He was like legendary, right? Because it was like his sister they're like, oh, his sister could have been a better athlete than him at the same position. I was like, wait, random.
No, that's strong, powerful family. And she played football next to him and was a decorated weightlifter. And Nick just had a kind of contagious laugh and smile, and was the most grounded guy you ever want to be around. And I saw an interview. Not a talk the other day when Rex coached him in Jets, and Rex got emotional in a hurry. You could just tell that he kind of had that way of just being having an impact on people, and he'll be missed.
100% for sure. Now we got to turn into I guess he's impactful towards, the people and the teammates that he had around him. As you alluded to earlier, you said, my dad, your dad played for the Saints, of course, Arch Manning, legend for the Saints. But at the end of his career, he went to the Vikings in the 83-84 season, where, we could enter one young Steve Jordan, father of Cam Jordan. Back when he was with the Vikings, he played with my dad, which is wild.
My dad loved your dad. He calls him Ivy because he went to Brown, Ivy Leaguer, and just I can remember him coming home going, "We got this young tight end who is an absolute stud. I mean, just shredded, tough, fast, great hands, and going to be a great player." And Dad was kind of on the tail end of a career, and Ivy was just cranking up, and they've become they've become lifelong friends, and
Absolutely.
how small a world as we're talking together today. That's a great part of the NFL fraternity.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the idea of the legacy thing, which makes me more upset that I didn't sack. I haven't sacked Peyton. I sacked Eli. Never got to sack Peyton. Just I blame him. Like he had hurt his
Yeah.
neck like the last year in Indianapolis when I first got to league. So I gotta like somebody else. And then
Yeah, you probably don't get to play him very much. I mean, AFC,
yeah,
NFC, crossways. You got more chances with Eli. Peyton, he got rid of it so quick. He
it's
didn't
so
get
quick,
sacked a
no
ton.
doubt. I just
He'd rather throw the interception than get sacked.
man, I'm like we played Denver one year, and I was like a nose tackle that game. I was like, oh, this is not good for me. But gosh darn it! And I said, I've only really got one. Now I'm gonna have to wait for Arch. We got
Yeah,
2 years left.
you know, I like that. Take your time. It's fine. You go ahead and retire. We'll get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead and settle down.
I'll leave Arch to Tank Jordan. Tank told me today. He said,
Yeah.
"Dad, I'm going to LSU. I'm going to be better than you." And I said, "Wow." I said, "Listen, I love you." I said, "I don't know what I am, but I'm not just good." I said, "There's you have to be
How old is Tank?
10, 10.
Oof,
Yeah,
Tank.
yeah.
That's a guy.
You know,
He's named right.
yeah,
You got him right.
yeah. Just in case like he needs like a real job, like he could be like go by Caleb. His mother gave him a great first name. Caleb Jordan. I'm like, nah. I was like, give me the middle name. There, I was like, give me Tank. Tank is my one. He was supposed to have a brother, Cairo Titan, but that's clearly not happening. One
Yeah,
boy, three girls.
Tank.
We shut it down.
Tank's versatile. Tank he could be a bouncer, a wrestler, a bartender, anything you want. I mean,
No doubt. But can he be a
I think
lawyer? Destroying legalities.
I think he'd be great in the courtroom. I don't want to go up against Tank in any way, shape, or form, legal or illegal.
DA Tank Jordan in the house. He's bringing it today. God's
That's great. Great name.
I mean, so my question is, who is the funniest Manning brother? And I obviously would have said you, but I've also seen Peyton throw balls at the back of kids' heads on a commercial, or was that SNL? Either way, on TV, I couldn't stop laughing.
Peyton and Eli, it's funny. My dad, we were talking the other day. Peyton's a funny guy. I think Peyton and Eli both appreciate humor too. They love to laugh. They love being around people that are funny, and they're not afraid, like every other funny person, to go ahead and pick a few things that work. I'm always stealing someone's stuff and kind of morphing into my own. But it was funny. We were doing a little speaking engagement the other day with my dad and Eli, and my dad goes, someone's asked about Eli being funny, and my dad said, "Oh, Eli, you didn't say anything interesting till you were about 40 anyway." So he's on a delay. He's been holding out for a long time, and now he's great. We had to do a little shoot the other day with Eli. He is so comfortable and natural in front of these cameras, and Peyton is has a profile to be funny, and he's self-deprecating and can laugh at himself, and it's endearing. And man, he's a lot of people want to have him be a part of their company. He's really good at what he does.
Right, the Manning hour versus Manning cast. Is there internal beef?
It's kind of like comparing apples and manure. They just don't have a whole lot in common.
I think the saying is apples and oranges.
Well, yeah, we still have yet to turn into a fruit. We're kind of harvesting ourselves on the ground next to the trash can.
I'll say you say manure, which manure just helps the fruit grow. So technically, they have a lot in common. You are the agent of growth.
I'm in there somewhere. I will say both Peyton and Eli do lean on me from time to time to do a little ghostwriting for them at the right times. Usually, if it's just not so much the G-rated stuff. It's got to be a little PG-13 for me to
want to be interesting. Come on, a little flavor.
I got to add a little spice. That's right.
You let the quarterbacks be the face of the franchise, but when it's time to really shine with the funny line, call Coop.
Right. You might not get invited back if you say everything, but it might be worth it.
Oh, we're the same person. The family, we call you Cam, and when I come in, they're like, yeah, you got to go. I'm like, oh, it's my cue. All right, love you guys. So don't ask for the real again.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah.
You know what the matador of the family is? Hey, we're here. We're here. Come in with this t-shirt. I came here to mess things up.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad. It's always good around holiday season too. You can offend kind of that brother-in-law you hadn't seen in a while, or
Yeah.
an aunt who's a little sensitive. Yeah. Go ahead and just stir the pot.
Hey, so as we're on this podcast, let's focus in on your podcast. We Need a Fourth, where you host, co-host with Brian Baumgartner. You got Kenny Mayne, yourself, and you talk about we need a fourth, being a fourth partner for what? Golf.
We were having so much fun, Cam. Golly, I can't tell you. I've known Kenny for a long time. Had never met Brian Baumgartner, but a huge fan of The Office. Kevin from The Office, and our whole family has The Office memorized. And so the good folks at Smartless, they must have. I don't know how they must work a matchmaking service, because got three of us together. They sent us over to Scotland to the old course to play a little golf and just kind of see how we got along, and it was just instant chemistry. And so we're just interviewing every week someone who likes golf, plays golf, has thoughts about it, but nothing technical, all fun, funny, bad, embarrassing stories, things that why it's important to them, what they loved about, playing with their dad, or weird celebrities, or caddying. And so it kind of, it resonates with anybody who's played golf before, and you don't have to be a stud or a stick. And we're getting good. We got a lot of comedians, so we get funny people. We've had, Bobby Flay. We've had Max Homa, and just had Keegan Bradley. But we've had, Will Arnett and Jason Bateman, and got Darius Rucker coming up. We got, all kind of interesting folks, and it's great for me to sit back and kind of be able to share with the other guys. Doing that solo like you're doing right now is not easy. It's hard when you have two other guys to kind of,
ping off of
dish. Yeah, sometimes you can just play D and rebound. You don't have to shoot, and so it's kind of nice. And so we're having a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's never resonated that Kevin has a real name, Brian Baumgartner. Like it's Kevin from The Office.
It took me, I'm not gonna lie, we were over there, Scott, and I did kind of catch myself several times, because I just called him Kevin. And then we were interviewing Jason Bateman one time, and I guess they're all, Hollywood guys. He right when he got on, he goes, "Good to see you, Bomber." And I'm like, "Bomber." So I just call him the Bomber now. And maybe therefore Kevin never comes in the equation. The Bomber, the Mad Bomber, and he hits a golf ball pretty good way. So he kind of thinks it's for bombing it. And so, hey, everybody wins.
Love it. Yeah. I was like, it's not fair that he's on a podcast, because he's most known for his facial expressions. Like, come on.
What's interesting, he's a classically, he's a theater major. He went to college to be
a thespian.
Yes, he's a comedic actor, but he's a bright guy and trained, and somehow he's landed with Kenny and Koopy, two fools, and I think we're just lowering his IQ every single podcast. So
Kenny, Koopy, and Bomb. Okay, Bomber.
Yeah, that's right, the Bomber. And Kenny's just an absolute nut, and funny and irreverent and weird and strange, and brings up things completely off topic at the perfect time, and is a fun guy to kind of just shake your head at and shake him up, and love being around Kenny Mayne.
You just talked about your team, your podcast mates, and you talked about how Bomber is actually a good stick on the course, and yet you haven't mentioned yourself, which makes me feel like you're riding coattails.
That's all I've ever done.
Come on,
Cam, you know that. Yeah, it's just riding along. I got free swag, good free hat. Just probably staying at someone else's place right now. You just just riding along. It's been fun.
How's your game?
It's kind of short and boring, to be honest with you. I can
go to work your short game. Yeah.
I can't hit it anywhere, but I'm pretty fun to play with, and I get invited to a lot of spots. And I'm better at the 19th hole than I am at the first 18, and so I do enjoy it. I love to play. I love to hit balls. I love to chip, and I love the relationships that I've made playing golf. I have people that I've played golf with 15 years ago, one time, and I still get a text from them every month. Just that's kind of my favorite thing about it, and that's what I was trying to teach my children is like, look, it doesn't matter if you're a great player or not. Just play fast. You meet great people, and where else can you spend 4 hours with a complete stranger, both doing what you want to do and competing a little bit, winning $20, losing $20, but having some laughs and kind of creating a bond that never goes away. And that's why golf is such a great game. And you can play it for a long time.
Yeah, for 4 hours. I love the driving range. I love 504. Noel over here. You go down to New Orleans. We got the the little driving situation. Love to play those games with the kids. 4 hours. 18 holes.
I'm gonna tell you what.
I got 9 for you. I got 9.
What's going to happen, Cam? As you in the next couple of years, you'll grab Tank and you'll say, "Hey, let's go play a little golf," and you will take him with 2 of your buddies, or maybe, and let Tank ride with one of your buddies. And you go, "Oh God, what have I done?" And Tank will come back and like he's aged 2 years in 18 holes because some of the people you put him with and some of the lessons and some of the stuff they talk about you with their son. And it's like, it's good. They just kind of, I don't know, they grow up and they mature. And I mean, some of the most inappropriate things I ever learned were with my dad taking me to play golf with some of his old buddies when I was too young to be there. And I was like, and I remember all those lines. So it was,
we need somebody to drive the golf cart. Tank, you got it. Come on.
Right. Yeah. He's right with me. I'm like, oh, here we go. So it's that's kind of what we need a fourth is about. It's kind of you're kind of jumping in a cart with kind of an inappropriate old man and learning some things you probably don't need to know, but
hopping in for the ride. Come on. Right. Hell yeah.
That's exactly right.
10 gallon hat included.
Amen.
With Thanksgiving popping up, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? You clearly got Arch down in Texas. Do you take the family on down?
We're gonna we've done, as you know, in sports, football in particular, college, and I'm sure every year is a total different. You're dysfunctional. I haven't had Thanksgiving with Peyton Manning since he was 18. So that's what we're talking. 33 years I hadn't seen him, and your brothers going separate ways. Eli used to play on Thanksgiving Day up at Ole Miss, and so I mean I can remember the Colts playing on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. My parents leaving, going to have Thanksgiving for 2 at a hotel. So every year is different. This year we're going to be in Austin. Everybody's going to come here, and got some more relatives coming, and just to kind of bail my wife out, who is pretty terrible in the kitchen. We're doing barbecue, catered barbecue. Yes,
terribly amazing. She's so amazing at everything.
Yeah, there's this spot in Austin, Franklin Barbecue, that people wait in line for hours and hours. It's got this phenomenal reputation. I saw somewhere the other day it was ranked the 17th best restaurant in the world. So I got in. I've been in line for 3 months, and I said, "Can you please help me and not let my wife burn a turkey?" So we're gonna do barbecue Thanksgiving in Austin, and got a football game the next day. So it should be fun.
Barbecue. You're from New Orleans. If I don't see stuffed bell peppers at my Thanksgiving, it's not a Thanksgiving anymore.
Well, you might have to FedEx some because I need help.
Okay. So there's no one food you look forward to. You don't look forward to the gumbo. You don't look forward to the you're doing a barbecue. So never mind.
We're gonna have some turkey. Clearly, I mean, I'm not abandoning, but I don't really care. Yeah, I'm up for anything. I like my favorite part of Thanksgiving, and I've mentioned this before, is Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. I like, having
the aromas in the house.
Everybody's coming home. Everybody's in a good mood. Kids are out of school. A little holiday. No pressure tomorrow to do much more than just wake up in time for a big lunch. So I like to have I used to always have a big shindig on Wednesday night, Jive Turkey Fest, and we just everybody get after a little bit. So we're going to do Jive Turkey Fest via Austin this year, but we'll be back at the Kingpin next year in New Orleans. My favorite little hole in the wall bar where everybody comes and acts like a fool for a couple hours. So
I have been to that bar.
Have you?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not lacking character.
Yeah, when everybody looked around, I was like, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Is this not a bar?"
Why were you there? What happened? How did you wind up at the Kingpin?
I had a friend was like, "Hey, come on down," and he lives down there. Whatever that the street is right off. What is that? Right off Pertaining. It's like St. Charles, whatever. Yeah, it's sort of tucked. And you're like, oh, I just wanted to go have a solid drink with my friend. And I walk in, and It's like everybody knows everybody. If you haven't been to the Kingpin, like you're not supposed to be there. I did not know.
That's exactly.
It's
That's
it's,
exactly.
it's the
You
opposite
can
of members
be.
only. It's
Yeah, you can be 18 or 81, and you're more than you fit in just fine. And
yeah,
or maybe 21. I'm sure they're
20,
running a strict
21. Yeah,
identificationing there, but
absolutely.
yeah, everybody's got to have a little hole in the wall spot they can go to and see some familiar faces and not overthink it.
No doubt. Hey, I walked in and there's like, hey, you're welcome back anytime. And I was like, hey, maybe I'm a Kingpin guy.
Yeah, they let me hook my phone up and DJ on Wednesday night of Thanksgiving, so I get to make my Jive Turkey playlist, and it's all. I've had a couple people text me like, "Are you coming this year?" I'm like, "Just we're on pause 1 year, but it's always
You
good
know,
to be back."
I may roll by them, Wednesday night just
Yeah, you can pick up. Why don't you just pick up the drish? I'll just say Cam's
yeah.
running point. I'll send you my playlist.
You
I'm
don't
sure
have you don't have a go-to Thanksgiving dish, but like what's the go-to song that you're known for? What's
Oh
your
well.
bar the night's ending? What song are you playing?
Well, when I get a little carried away, I start getting to those like old Italian songs, and kind of dancing around like an old Italian wedding, and everybody's dun 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 dun, dun mixing it up. Just
Okay.
again, sophomoric behavior. Nothing that I'd put on my resume.
Okay. Touche. So I get a freestyle this. Perfect. My
You can't
last
screw it up.
my last question for you is you went to Ole Miss, your brother went to Ole Miss.
Hmm.
How do we let the next great Manning go to UT and lead the
Oh
charge?
yeah.
Money.
You know, my parents just the same way. They wanted us to, look, you go where you want to go, where it seems right. We grew up going to Oxford, loved it, and it was kind of the right place for Eli and right place for me. Peyton pivoted and said, looked
UT.
at it and said, "Hey, I want to go to Tennessee." And the same way we raised all our kids, hey, wherever you like. I didn't want to be fielding calls from children going, "I can't believe you made me come here. My, boyfriend broke up with me. My girlfriend hates me. I can't pass algebra. My dorm sucks, and I got a parking ticket, and I'm homesick." I'm like, So show it all to them. Run point on kind of, hey, we're flying here, we're going there, we're driving there. Take a look and whatever you think works. I mean, you might ask some questions and make them think about some things because they're all knuckleheads anyway.
Yeah.
But I just wanted happy college students and happy kids and happy children is kind of all I care about. And so it's been, I've got, two boys here right now. My youngest son, Hyde, is just a fraternity guy and a beer drinker and a sophomore and living a completely different college life than his brother and is the happiest University of Texas student I've ever seen. So you can do it a bunch of different ways, and we love Ole Miss. I love Oxford. I have phenomenal friends there, and but you can only control so much what you can control. You got to let them go and
No
fly.
go. Yeah. The only thing I do for my kids, I say, hey, just know your grandfather went to Brown University, an Ivy League school. I say your dad went to the University of California, but at Berkeley, we're the number one public school in the nation. Like to
Right.
say, I said, so if you look at me and say, hey, you want to go to LSU? Sure. You know what? Sure. At that point, let me introduce you to ASU, JSU, SJSU. Like if we're going to say, hey, we're not looking for academic number ones, we'll go number whatever.
I think it all.
I
I
get it.
want them to work hard and make friends, and they're gonna figure it out. I'm not. I can. That's kind of when I do turn into. I'm not. monitoring their schedule, or much less know. They could probably be lying to you. They come home and say, daughter says, "Oh, I made a 4.0." I said, "Oh, great." She could have made a 2.0. I didn't check. I have no idea. They're probably lying to me. They seem to be doing fine. It could all be one big hoax. I have no idea.
I will be in class. No. Show me the report card. It's updated. No, I know. No. What we're going to do is strive for excellence.
Yeah, I just want them to have a little class. They don't have to go to class. Just have a little class.
Have a little class. You don't be good people. No, I want you to be smart. I'm not going to lie to you. When I pick up subjects, I need you to be able to bounce back. When I send quips your way and if that dart hits the board and you don't know how to pick it up and send one back, I don't like that for me.
Right.
No.
They need an uncle figure in their life that they don't have. I know. I hope it's okay if I distribute your number on the family text chain today because they're not asking me enough outgoing questions. They're getting too much incoming. They need some support. So
No doubt.
Uncle
Hey,
Cam,
I'm
and
perfect.
cousin Tank need to enter the situation immediately.
Come on. Hey, my disciplinary actions, we run. We run routes. We run across laps. We do push-ups. We do jumping jacks. Come on. If you annoy me, you'll be in push-up position for the next 5 minutes. Let's do it.
I love that. My dad did that. We didn't get grounded. We ran,
Yeah.
come in this curfew. All right, let's go outside. We're going to run laps. Here we go.
Love
Giddy
it.
up.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk back to mom? Bear crawls. Oh, no. It's not for yards. It's until I feel like you've learned your lesson. I like my way.
Yes. We were raised the same way. You're right.
But I appreciate you for even tapping in. I finally being part of my podcast. Being able to come over on your show so many times. I thank you for always being great. For appreciating being appreciated, because we appreciate you, Coop. You aren't the youngest brother. You're the oldest brother, and you lead by example. So thank you.
Well, it is a privilege and always great to hang with you, my friend. Anything you need, you know where to find me.
Heck yeah. I appreciate the listeners, viewers, everybody else. You guys can find us on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, all podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcasts. Come check us out. And also the NFL's YouTube page, where you can actually see my face and my reactions to half of what we do. Thank you so much.